Hello guys, welcome back again to my channel. I know it's been a while, please forgive me. So today we are making a very beautiful two-piece dress. A client of mine sent me this video of this Nigerian chef. Gosh, I've been following her channels and I admire so much what she does. So today we are making this two-piece for my clients. Okay, so without much ado, let's get into it. So we're making use of 4 yards of fabric, 4.5 depending on the size. My client is almost the size of this lady, so we are making use of 4.5 yards of fabric. So first of all, we are going to start with the top part of this, and then we're going to continue later with the trouser part of this. This is a detailed video. I decided not to break it into two, just make it a single video for easy access. Okay, so first of all, as usual, we fold our fabric into two according to the biggest part of your client's measurement, which will definitely be the hip. So we fold it into two with the hip side. Then as usual, we take our shoulder measurement. I'm making use of 16 inches, so shoulder measurement. Then on that point, I go down by 1.5 inch. That would serve as my shoulder. Guys, forgive me for the background noise. My flatmates were making noise. Please forgive me. Okay, so continuing from where we left off, now we take our shoulder to chest measurement, shoulder to bust measurement, shoulder to waist measurement, shoulder to hip measurement, and then your shoulder to the length of your dress. So for these purposes, we're going to make use of 12 inches from the shoulder to the nipple. That is 7 as your shoulder to bust measurements. That's from your shoulder to your nipple, which is 12 inches per my customer's measurement. And then on that line, the shoulder to nipple, which is 12, you go up by 2 inches to get your chest measurement. So meaning our chest measurement or our chest length from the shoulder is 10 inches. So after we make these, we mark these lines, we are just going to take our round body measurement. So our round body, since this is the first piece or the front side of our fabric folded into two, we are going to divide all our round measurements into 4. Okay, so before that, let's take our around armhole measurement. So for our armhole measurement, you connect our line from the shoulder, end point of the shoulder, down to our chest line. Then we find the midpoint from that line. On that midpoint, we just go in by 1/2 inch, and then we draw a curve from that side to our chest line. Okay, we've already done this over and over in our previous tutorial, so I'm sure by now you are already into it. You already know how to cut this bodice block. But for our new subscribers here, I'm just making this again for you just in case. So this is just a basic bodice block. Okay, so after we take our round body measurements divided into 4, we just connect our lines. So as you can see, we've drawn the shape and it's looking nice already. So I cut it all out, leaving 1 inch allowance on the side. This is optional. You can leave 1 inch, 1.5 inch, 2 inches, anyhow you prefer, but it's always safe for you to at least leave 1/2 inch allowance, sewing allowance, for your own good. Okay, so we are done with the first part of the dress. So I'm now going to cut the second part. So as you can see, this dress is like a jacket. It's almost a jacket, let me just say a jacket. So The back and front is the same. The only difference is that for the front piece, there is an opening. So we're going to create an opening in the front part, but the cutting process is the same. So after we cut 2 pieces of the same thing, we're just going to take one piece and then open the front. It's that simple. Okay, so as you can see, I folded my fabric again into 2, and then I laid the first part that I cut on my fold again. I'm going to trace it out and cut again, as I'm doing now. Just place the front part or the first part you cut out and then cut through again. So remember the remember the armhole area. I went in by half for the front part. So for the back part, I'm replacing the half that I took in from the front part. I'm replacing it for the back. That is why you saw me drawing that line back to shaping it into the chest line. Okay, so I'm quickly going to press this so it looks as neat as possible. All right, so you saw that I didn't cut the neck area because I wanted to have both pieces to cut at the same time. So these are the both pieces. I'm going to go in by 3 inches or 3.5 inches by 1.5 inches for our neck length and depth. Okay, so I cut it on both pieces at once. Now I take one part of the pieces, which is going to serve as my front, and then make an opening. But before that, I decided to twist my fabric a little because I wanted the front part to have the same pattern. As you can see, my fabric is a pattern fabric. I didn't want a mixture of fabric. I wanted both the front side to look the same and the back side looking the same. So I had to separate these two. As you can see, one side is a little different from the other. Yes, but I want it to look the same. So I'm going to cut the other side on the same part, which will give me the same pattern that I need, as you can see. So I just cut this into 2 and replace it with the other side. So I'll get the same pattern for both sides, for both the left side and the right side. Guys, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, don't worry, even if you don't, you're going to see it at the end of this. So these 2 pieces are serving as my front piece, and then I go in from the shoulder to the front by 11 or 12 inches. Then I curve like so, because I don't want my opening to be as straight. At least it should have some flex, right? So I just curve it just a little into the shoulder line, like so. So this is for the front part. Very easy, very simple. So on your shoulder, neck shoulder from the front, you just measure about 12 or 10 inches depending on how or where you want your opening, how you want your opening to look like. So I just went down by 11 inches for mine, and then I curved it back into the shoulder point. So this is what we have for the front. As you can see, both have the same pattern, exactly how I wanted it. The same goes for the back. On the usual or the normal, I wasn't supposed to have 2 pieces for the back, but because I wanted the same pattern for both the front and back, I had to separate the back. So I take that pattern from the rest, another fabric, or from the rest of the fabric to give me the same pattern for the back as well. That is why I have 2 pieces for the back. So if you're doing yours and your fabric is not as patterned as mine, having different patterns on different sides of the fabric, and it's one pattern throughout, then there is no need for you to separate the back. just leave it after you cut it. Just leave it. Don't separate it or don't cut it into two. Okay. So I'm going to join the back again. So guys, as you can see how beautiful the back part looks. This is the whole reason why I had to separate it. So I'll get this pattern. Right, okay, so I'll join it back now that I have the pattern. Then as you can see, the front pattern is also matching. Right, this is the whole thing that I wanted, for the front to match and for the back to match. So now I'm going to quickly join the shoulders and the sides. But before that, I'm going to cut the same pieces on my lining pieces, because I'm going to turn in the entire thing with my lining. So I'm going to cut the same pieces on my lining. Now for the sleeve part of this is a normal sleeve, but a little open from the wrist area. So it's a 3/4 sleeve. So I'm making use of 20 inches length, and then I take my armhole curve as well. Then I take my around arm. This is a loose sleeve, right? So it's loose on the arm as well as the wrist area. So the wrist area is not tight, it's open, a little like flare, but it's not really flare, it's just open. So as you can see from what I'm doing, it's open from the down part. So just follow this. You can just look at how I shape it and just replicate this on yours. Afterwards, I cut it through. So this is what I have for the sleeve part. It's just two. Yes, one for the left, one for the right. Depending on your measurements, please. Depending on the measurements you're working with. So if your around arm is 12, this you can make use of 14 or 15. Okay. So after joining my shoulder and my sides and turning in with my lining, this is how it looks. You're getting the drift, right? It's looking beautiful already. Okay, so I forgot to record the part where I was attaching my mesh. Forgive me guys, so I'm quickly going to recap on that. So on your shoulder, you come down to your hip line, that is like around 24, but this I'm going to make use of 23 inches length from my shoulder to my hip line, or where I would want to put my mesh as the style. So from the shoulder I mark down 23, then I cut 5 inches. I cut my long mesh into 5 inches pieces. My mesh, I ran out of mesh, so I had to just make do with what I have. So I cut them 5 inches length into different pieces like this, and then I pack them like this. And on that 23 inches line, I just gather them on there like so, and then made a straight stitch in between the mesh. So that is how I got this. So as you can see the straight stitch in the middle of the mesh attached to just the front pieces. Just the front pieces. So I'm going to join the sides and then attach the sleeve. Then we are done with this. No, wait, before that we are also going to attach our mesh to the tip of the sleeve as well. So I'm going to quickly show you that as well. So I bring back my sleeve and open it up. Since I'm not going to line my sleeve, because my client says she sweats a lot, so she doesn't want anything too heavy. I'm not going to line my sleeve. So I'm going to pack my mesh on the sleeves, the tip of the sleeve, like so. And then sew in the middle, attaching it to the sleeve. just right in the middle, attaching it to the sleeve. So after attaching it, I fold it back and then close that side or sew my seam allowance off. Then attach the sleeve to the bodice of my dress. So guys, this is how it looks after attaching my sleeve. This would actually look nicer if you have enough mesh. Unfortunately, I ran out of mesh, so I just had to make do with this. And from my place, the market is quite far, so I couldn't go to get mesh. So I had to make do with this. But if you can get enough mesh, it would look nicer. It would look fluffier and nicer. Okay, so that is it for the top part or our jacket. Now we are going to do the trouser part or the down part of our outfit. So for the down part, again, as usual, because I already have a video of a trouser, of how to cut a trouser, cut and sew a trouser on this channel. So you can either watch that or you can still watch this and you would get what I'm trying to do. Okay, so first of all, you fold it into two, like always, using the biggest part of your body, which is your hip. So you fold it according to your hip. But for a trouser, you know you're going to take your around thigh measurement. So you fold it in, you fold your fabric into two with your around thigh divided by 2. Okay, afterwards you take your shoulder to, you take your waist to your crotch length. So your waist to your crotch length, you can either decide to divide your hip measurement by 4 or you take that measurement on your client. Okay, so here from the shoulder to my crotch length was 12, and then from my waist, I keep saying shoulder, so sorry. So from your waist to your crotch length here is 12. From my waist to my hip line is 9. I mark that line. Then I take my waist measurement. After taking my waist measurement, taking my hip measurement and my crotch or my thigh measurement, I kept it straight, connecting the measurements together. And on the sides as well. If you want a detailed tutorial on how to cut this trouser, please watch any of my videos in there. You would see a detailed video on how to cut a trouser. Nonetheless, I'm still showing you this, so whichever works for you is fine. Okay, so on the knee line, all these measurements you are going to take on your client, from your shoulder, from the waist to hip, waist to crotch, waist to knee, and then waist to the length of the trouser. So on the waist to knee length, you're going to take your around knee, right? Your around knee divided by 2. Then on your ankle, you're going to take the measurement of your ankle divided by 2. In order for you to get a really tapered or fitted trousers, this is the trick. You see, you have to find the midpoint of your leftover fabric. I mean, from your crotch to your ankle, you need to find the midpoint of the fabric that is left. And when you find the midpoint, that your measurements that you took, I mean your knee measurement, your around knee, your around ankle, you divide it into 2 using the midpoint as your dividing line. So if your around knee is like 18, divided by 2 is 9. So that 9 on the midpoint, you share 4.5 on each side of the midline. You do same for your ankle. This would make sure you have a really fitted trousers at the end of the day. Okay, so I have done that, and I have connected my lines. As you can see, the shape and everything is coming out already. Again, if you want a detailed video on how to cut the trousers, I have a video or a tutorial like that in my videos. I'll try and leave the link to it here in the video, so you click on it and you can find it. Alright, so let's get to it. We are done with the first part of our trousers, which is the front trouser piece. We're going to cut it out, and then using that as our pattern, we are going to cut the back part of the trouser. So this is our front part, or our front piece of the trousers. Bear in mind this is on fold, so it's two pieces, both left and right front. So after the front part, we bring our fabric again, and then we fold it again into two. This time around, the fold should be bigger than that of the fold we used for the front side. It could actually be 3 to 4 inches more or bigger than the front piece. This is done so that the back crotch is bigger or longer than the front crotch. So we need that extra 3 inches or 4 inches for the crotch. So when we lay our front piece on the back fold, we just extend our crotch length. So you stand on the crotch length of the front piece by 3 or 3.5 to 4, depending on the back size of your client. You extend it usually by 3, highest is 3.5. Okay, then on the knee area you add 2 inches, and then on the ankle area you can decide to use 1.5 or 1, depending on how tapered you want that area or how narrow you want that area. So for the waistline, since we are going to be adding a zipper to the back of this trouser, we are going to add 2 inches allowance on the waist or on the center back of the trouser. So as you can see, I have extended the back by 2 inches. Then I join that curve to my crotch curve on the back. So sorry that you can't see that part, because I was recording with the back camera of my phone. I couldn't really notice. So sorry for that. So for the waist of the back, you extend the waist of the back by 1.5 inches, right? So as you can see, the back waist or the center back, you extend it by 1.5 inches, at most 2 inches if your client is big or has a big bum. And then on that center back extension of 2 inches, you slant the line to join the side waist of the trousers. So as you can see indicated with the chalk, you can see where the center extension starts from to the other end of the trousers, or the waistline of the trousers. So this is it for the cutting. I cut it out. Now I have my front trouser pieces and my back trouser pieces, 2 for each. So as you can see, that is the 3 inches extension on my crotch length. I had to adjust it for you to see, and then on my around knee 2 inches and 1.5 inch for my ankle, as well as 2 inches or 2.5 for the center back extension. Remember, factor in that we are going to add a zipper to the back, so you need an allowance for the zipper. So now we are going to cut the pocket pieces. I'm going to add a side pocket to my trousers. So I go in by 14 inch by 12 inches. So the length is 14 and then the width is 12. We'll need 2 pieces for this. So you cut 2 pieces of this, one for the right pocket, one for the left pocket. So for this pocket, is a different pocket from the one I have in my previous video. So this is also an inside pocket, but a different style of an inside pocket. So on one side of these, you go in, you measure 2 inches inwards and then 7 inches downwards, or 7.5 inches downwards. Then you curve that 7.5 length into your 2 inches and you cut that out. So as you can see, I did that on 2 pieces, on both pieces of my fabric. So this is how the pocket is going to look like. After you cut one side, you fold it back and it's already forming the pockets. So this is how you're going to join it to your front pieces. Remember, the pocket is only on the front pieces. So you take the 2 front pieces, you lay it down as so. Then you bring back the pockets, you lay it on your trousers. As you can see, the part that I have cut out, that is where you're going to insert your hand, or you put your hand in after we are done with the pocket. So I'm going to cut that out again on the trouser. Please pay attention because this kind of pocket is new on my channel. So pay attention if you want this kind of pocket, or you can insert a straight inside pocket if you want. But this is equally nice, so pay attention. Okay. So after cutting it on the trousers, you take one piece of the trousers, one piece of the pocket pieces, you lay it on the fabric or on the trouser piece, the curved side to curved side like this, and then you pin it. You're going to sew that side, right? You're going to sew that side by 1/2 inch. So you do same for the other side. Place the pocket piece on the trouser piece and then you secure the curved line, making sure the curved lines are meeting or are equal. You pin it down. You're going to sew straight on that curve by 1/2 inch. So after sewing it, this is how it looks. You sew and then you top stitch. You sew it from the inside and on the outside you top stitch. So this is how the pocket looks. Please, the pocket, you attach it from the wrong side of the trousers, from the wrong side, not from the right side. So you attach that curve on from the wrong side. So afterwards you fold the pocket into 2, or you fold that fabric for the pocket into 2, making sure that the other fold or the other side that was left over would meet the line that you cut out from the trouser piece. So we cut a portion of the trouser away. Now we are replacing it with the pocket piece, the piece that we cut for the pocket. We are replacing that line. So as you can see, our trouser line that we cut out is already replaced by the fold of the pocket piece. So there is no cutout, because when we cut that out, it took some portion of the waist away. Now we've replaced it, replacing the waist side that we cut out. So that is just for this pocket. So I'm going to do it from this side as well. You fold it in like so, making sure it's meeting the side of the trousers equally, replacing that part that we cut out. Then you secure those sides with pin. So this is it. So you're going to sew the down parts of the trouser or of the pocket, then you sew the side as well as the top. That will be serve as our closing. So after you've done that, that is all. You have your pockets done. So after we do that, we are just going to attach the back piece like this. You place one side of the back piece on the front side, then you make a straight stitch from the waist to the down on both sides, and then you sew the center piece of the trousers as well. So I've done that. I've attached the sides. Can you see the pockets? I've also attached or sewn my center of my center front of the trouser. So now it's left with my center back of the trouser. So I open it up like this. I'm going to take my measurement. First, I take my waist measurement. Remember, I said we're going to attach a zipper to the back of this trouser. So I need to make sure I take my waist measurement and I have my allowance to attach my zipper. So I take my waist measurement, I take my hip measurement. Remember, the hip measurement was 9 inches from the waist. So don't forget, we come down from the waist by 9 downwards, then you take your hip measurement. This measurement by 2 because I've opened it. So you take your waist measurement divided by 2, hip measurement divided by 2. So after you've taken your waist and your hip measurement, you curve the line, or you join the line by a curve through to your crotch. Remember, for the crotch, you're just only going to take half an inch because that is the measurement for it. Half. An inch for the crotch. Okay, so after we are done with this, we are quickly going to take our measurements for the legs of our trouser. So this is one way to do it, or you can decide to attach or sew the center back first and then you just sew the down part. But for the purposes of this video, I'm doing both. So you can lay it down like this and then retake your measurement to make sure, or to even shaping it to your desired shape that you want. This is one way to do it. Or like I said, you can join your center piece, not join it entirely. You can make a loose stitch because you'd need that loose stitch to attach your zipper. So I'm going to create that loose. I'm going to take that loose stitch and then show you. Okay, so after taking or stitching, having a loose stitch on the center back, you bring back both pieces like this from the down, and then you secure it by a pin. In between your ties, that line, you secure it by a pin, and then you make a straight stitch to join the two legs. As you can see, you fold both legs into pieces, you join by a straight stitch by half an inch, and that is it. So after joining and attaching my zipper at the back, this is how it looks. Just attaching a normal zipper. I also have a video of that. So you just attach your normal zip at the back, and this is how the trouser came out. I've joined the down part. I have hemmed my ankle area. So this is our pocket. As you can see, very neatly done, very beautiful. You see the difference in the pockets. This pocket has a shape you can see a little different from the inside pocket, which is everything is inside. Okay, so this is it for our trousers, and this is it for our blouse. It's so unfortunate that I couldn't get my clients to wear it for us to show you, and it was too big for me. This size is size 8 and this size is like size 14, so it would be funny for me to put this on. So I just had to take this video of it, and this is it. So you can follow this tutorials very carefully. It's a little long because I didn't want to separate the videos. I wanted to make it one whole video. So watch it a couple of times, then follow. If you have any difficulties, send me a message and I will reply to guide you. You can choose to put one press stud in front to close it. Alright guys, this is it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.